PKOs are live at ACR Poker, and we've got some tips to help you have an advantage over the field, and it's going down right now. What's up, guys? My name is Rob. I go by Poker Pastor, and I am a Twitch poker streamer. You can catch me at twitch.tv/pokerpastor. You should give me a follow so you can get notifications anytime we go live. And as always, if you get anything from this video, make sure you hit that like button, drop us a comment, and if you want, hit that subscribe button so you'll get notifications anytime we post videos in the future when we do content here about strategy on and off the poker felt. And I am super excited because after a long time waiting, PKOs are officially live at ACR Poker. I got to be a part of the testing team that played these last week. They're a metric ton of fun, and they are a huge opportunity for you to make some extra money, because anytime something new comes to poker, we know people adapt very, very slowly. And PKOs, and especially, are a format that people play very poorly because they make some very key mistakes. And so today, I just want to go through a couple ways that you can play PKOs and have an advantage over your competition early on while people don't adjust. So the first adjustment you're going to make in PKOs is adjusting to bounty equity. Bounty equity simply means that when you bust an opponent, you're getting paid an actual amount of money at that time. And so it changes the value of your chips in a particular situation. Now, the math can be a little bit tricky, but here is how you can approach the situation. Bounty equity is essentially the amount you will win on the bounty divided by the buy-in for the tournament times the number of chips for a starting stack. Okay, so let's say you're in a 10K starting stack tournament. It is a $22 buy-in, and your opponent's bounty is $11. In other words, you're going to get $11 if you bust your opponent. 11 divided by 22 is 50%. 50% of that 10,000 is 5,000 chips. So you treat the situation as if there is an extra 5,000 chips in the pot. This is important because you're going to get into situations where normally a call would be really, really bad, but because of the extra chips that are represented by the bounty equity in the pot, it is a really good call. This is great for you on two fronts. First, you're going to be able to make some calls that you normally wouldn't make and take advantage of some really good situations. Second, you're going to get in spots where somebody's going to jam on you for 15 bigs and you have to call with 2-7 offsuit because the bounty equity is so high that you need to call with any two cards. And people are going to watch you and they're going to think you're an absolute moron for making some of these calls. They're going to discredit you as a bad player, and you're going to have an advantage over them because they're not going to take you seriously, even though you really know what you're doing and you're taking advantage. The second adjustment you need to make is you do need to realize that players are calling off wider because of bounty equity. This can lead to some really cool situations, especially with some of your value hands. In a PKO, one of the things I love to do is shove 15 to 20 bigs with my premium hands. I would never ever do that in a normal tournament situation because we want to give people a chance to make mistakes, but we know that people are going to call really wide. In fact, if you know that there are players at your table that are aware of bounty equity and you have premiums, you can even sometimes get away with shoving 15, 20, 25 big blinds in spots because people are just going to call you down light and you get a chance to lock in that equity early. On the flip side, knowing that people are calling you wider, now we have to adjust our shoving ranges on the lower end of our range as well. Generally speaking, when it comes to shove fold play, we tend to go what's called a little bit wider than Nash. And so Nash is kind of the optimal amount of hands we should be shoving. We can actually shove a little bit wider than that because generally the population doesn't call enough. They tend to overfold. And so the more that opponents fold, the more we can shove profitably, even if it's not the optimal range. But in a PKO, people want to get the bounties, and even players that aren't necessarily aware of bounty equity still get excited for those bounties and call a bit lighter. So we have to tighten our shoving ranges a little bit. We can't necessarily shove the bottom of our range, and making that adjustment will definitely save you some money and some chips in the long run. The third and final adjustment that I want to make really important is that in the early stages, while yes, we really want to take advantage of bounty equity, As you get to the late stages of the tournament, ICM is still a thing. This is really important. I see so many players in PKOs, late stages of tournaments, they get into a tournament, they get down to the final table, and they're chasing $40 bounties when the pay jumps are $200, and they start to make ICM mistakes. Yes, bounty equity matters, but when you get to a final table, when the pay jumps start to get really big, you have to kind of devalue the bounties a little bit and understand, and maybe devaluing is not even the right term. You have to understand that the pay jump ICM has more value than the bounty ICM. And I can't remember how many times I've seen chip leaders go from chip leader to 6th in chips, chasing every single bounty, trying to win $30, $40, $50, $60 bounties when first place is $1,500. So please understand, as you get to the later stages of the tournament, the bounty equity is going to have less and less value compared to the ICM value of pay jumps. We still want to win a tournament. Half of the prize pool goes to PKOs, half of the prize pool goes to the actual prize pool, and there still is going to be a sizable chunk of the prize pool up top in first place. So as you get deep, just remember, yes, we want bounties, but please do not sacrifice your tournament life on a particular bounty unless those bounties are getting upwards of where the first place value is. Don't forget, in PKOs, the winner of the tournament doesn't just get the bounty on their opponent, they get the bounty on themselves, making the pay jump from second to first absolutely massive. Sometimes when we think about ICM, we don't think about this fact. When you get to a final table, winning a tournament is huge because you're getting not only the normal pay jump from second to first, but you're getting the second place opponent's bounty and the bounty on yourself. Sometimes the difference between first place money and second place money can be 2.5, 3 times the second place amount because of the PKO bounties. So you've got to make adjustments in your ICM play. You still have to value ICM. You cannot just go crazy going after bounties at the final table. Guys, this is an exciting time. Take advantage of these PKOs. Not only are you going to have a lot of fun playing them, but there's a lot of value to be had in beating opponents and adapting faster than they am. And I'm pretty sure at some point here in the near future, you're going to see a series of PKOs from ACR. So the more you sharpen your sword in these now, the more of an advantage you're going to have later. We're going to see the tables. I want to hear comments from you. If you guys have questions about PKOs, drop them in the comments. I'll answer them. I'll answer all of your strategy questions. If you got anything from this video, let us know as well. We're going to continue putting content out like this in the future. And as always, if you're not playing on ACR, shoot me a personal message, leave me a comment. You can hit me on Twitter at Team Poker Pastor. I will hook you up with the best deposit deal there is, and we will get you taken care of. Poker is alive and well in the United States, and this is a great time to be on board. That's it for me, Poker Pastor. I'm going to see you guys on the felt. I'm going to see you in the PKOs, and hopefully I'll see you on my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/PokerPastor. Talk to you soon.